Hello, everybody. Welcome back to the Cult Classic Podcast. Cameron Jones here with my co-host,
Mark Nussle.
Jordan Jones.
We've been teasing this one for a second. I literally just got married a few days ago. Jordan got married a few months ago. So in honor of that, we're keeping the wedding spirit going, and we're going to do the 1998 film, The Wedding Singer. Set in the material world of 1985, Adam Sandler plays a nice guy with a broken heart who's stuck in one of the most romantic jobs in the world, a wedding singer. After he's abandoned at the altar by his fiancée Linda, he meets a young woman named Julia, who enlists his help to plan her wedding to an egotistical yuppie named Glen. When sparks fly between Julia and Robbie, the two must battle between the heart and sensibility in this 90s romantic comedy.
Directed by Frank Corsi, who also did The Waterboy, Click, Here Comes the Boom, and Zookeeper.
Okay, so Adam Sandler and Adam Sandler adjacent movies. You know? This is maybe honestly one of Adam Sandler's best movies all around, as far as story goes, not being too over the top.
This is a departure from like the over the top Billy Madison, Happy Gilmore, and you thought when this movie came out, oh, we're gonna progress and change, but then we didn't. Like Little Nicky comes out like 2 years later.
Starring Adam Sandler, Drew Barrymore, Christine Taylor, Alan Covert, Matthew Glave, Alexis Arquette, Billy Idol.
This is a movie I remember watching that had a lot of quotability as a family when I was younger. We threw out a lot of lines from this one. The Wedding Singer.
Alrighty, cast and crew. This one's directed by Frank Corsi, who I mentioned did The Waterboy and Click as far as Adam Sandler movies. And this is written by Tim Herlihy.
I just got to say quick, I like Click. I know a lot of people think it's too sad, but it's just sad enough, and I like it. Sorry, go on.
Well, we're on this topic. I don't like Click.
Yeah, I know.
But if you're into that, I mean, go check out It's a Wonderful Life or some other reimagination. There's better options.
Exactly, it's a modernization.
And there's better Sandler movies. In Cameron's defense, I'm a pretty big fan of Spanglish.
Yeah, exactly. It's not bad.
So, you know.
Written by Tim Herlihy, who also wrote Pixels, Happy Gilmore. He was a writer for SNL. Did the screenplay for Big Daddy.
Okay.
Little Nicky, Mr. Deed. So he's kind of...
So again, pretty much Adam Sandler and then some other things. I know I saw Pixels, but I just do not remember it.
I don't remember it either. I actually don't know if I saw it.
I think I watched it. I think you watched it with me at the house. I think we did, but it was forgettable.
The composer of the movie was Teddy Castellucci, who also did 50 First Dates and Mr. Deeds. So
this one has
kind of keeping a tight-knit crew here.
This one has so much 80s music. I feel like I can't remember too much of a score other than like...
There's not really much of a score, but it's just more of a sound.
The overture score ends up kind of being the Stay Old With You song.
Yeah,
they kind of bring that in throughout.
Which I like, which is good though, which is cool.
Yeah.
Obviously starring Adam Sandler plays Robbie Hart.
We've talked about him a few times, obviously. We just did him in Airheads.
We mentioned it here, but I do got to let the young kids know that at this time, Adam Sandler, especially for our age group, was the shit.
Putting out nothing but hits. Really good movies. Every single one.
I mean, maybe they've aged weird, but we got Wedding Singer now, followed by Waterboy, which I think was financially successful, and then Big Daddy, and then...
I mean, before that, we still had like Happy Gilmore and Billy Madison, too. To
they were already great by then, but he hasn't become a caricature of himself yet.
Right. He hasn't become Hubie Halloween.
I think we're in a little Sandman renaissance now, though. People are liking that basketball movie at Uncut Gems. Who knows?
Who knows? Mm-hmm. Who knows?
I'll never quit him, even with Jack and Jill. I can't quit you. I won't. I'm a Sandman.
Drew Barrymore plays Julia Sullivan.
I'm not sure if she's popped up before on the podcast. I mean, obviously, child actor of the Barrymores. Her grandfather is Mr. Potter from It's a Wonderful Life.
That's right.
I mean, E.T., obviously, and just other things when she was a kid.
Charlie's Angels. Charlie's Angels. Christine Taylor. I'm just going to go through these a little quicker.
Mm-hmm.
Dodgeball Zoolander. Alan Covert. Matthew Glave. Ellen Albertini Dow plays Rosie, the old Rosie.
She's popped up in a few other things, but I can't think off the top of my head.
Alexis Arquette, Kevin Nealon, Peter Dante, We have little cameos from Steve Buscemi and John Lovitz and Billy
I
Idol.
wouldn't say they're little, but yeah, we got some pretty strong cameos.
I'd say they're short.
That's almost all I want to talk about.
I'd say they're short in time, but impactful in memory.
Hell yeah. Best man.
So, I mean, these
man.
are a lot of people we're very familiar with. We've talked about them before on the podcast, so we're not going to beat you over the head with this.
I will say it's notable that, like, Drew Barrymore was in, like, a little renaissance of her career now. Charlie's Angels, Never's Been Kissed. You may
I really
recognize...
do Never Been Kissed. It's a good movie. Cinderella
That
story.
is a good one. Everlasting for Cameron.
Oh,
and
sorry.
you may
That's what I
remember-
thought you said. Sorry. I meant Everlasting. Gotta love that. It's a cast we know pretty well. Everyone's pretty big in this, and we've talked about him. So let's just move it on to Unverified. Welcome to Cult Classics Movie Phone. It's February 1998, and currently in theaters, you could have seen Ernest in the Army. The garbage-picking, field goal-kicking Philadelphia phenomenon. That might be just a Disney made-for-TV movie. I don't know if that got to theaters. Sphere, that underwater space movie with...
Samuel L. Jackson, maybe?
Yep, thank you.
Dustin Hoffman, sorry.
Thank you.
Sorry, there was another one.
Blues Brother 2000 and Palmetto. That's about it, but you chose to see The Wedding Singer, and I think you made the right choice.
Yeah, we made the right choice there.
And you're not the only one. Sneaky made $123 million box office.
Oh, shit. What was the budget for this one? It couldn't have been a bunch. I mean, other than getting rights to music was probably a huge cost, but not even that huge.
$18 million budget, so they,
Okay.
you know,
Pretty good.
Sandman,
Pretty good for
box office star.
This is kind of an interesting one because she's popped up before, but Carrie Fisher, Judd Apatow, and Adam Sandler are uncredited as working on the script, as like punching it up. But
Yeah, I saw that. That was interesting.
I forget what else Carrie Fisher is. She maybe it was Hook or in like one other thing that she's popped in as just being like a ghostwriter and like punching up scripts. So
I think she punched up strips, and then obviously Judd Apatow and Adam Sandler lived together when they were up and coming comedians before Sandman popped.
That would make sense. But the Carrie Fisher one always surprises me.
The butterfly jean jacket that Julie was wearing throughout the movie actually belonged to Drew Barrymore, and the director just liked it, so they fitted into the script.
That's how you keep a short budget, Mark. It's how you
Keep it tight. That's how you
come in
keep
what
it
you
tight.
got. You guys were alive during the time. Come in what you still have.
I guess we didn't mention it, but Alexis Arquette's sibling is Patricia Arquette, David Arquette, and Rosanna Arquette. And then some guy named Richmond Arquette, but I don't think he's an actor.
I don't know.
Oh, he is.
think-
Yeah, they're all actors. Jesus,
Oh.
he's in like their movies.
It's like the Baldwins.
Yeah, I mean that's a pretty talented family. I mean, you got an Oscar winner, you got David Arquette, and
On the VH version, after the credits, there are 3 karaoke-style 80s songs.
I do vaguely remember that.
I
'cause we
think
did
Passa
have it.
Ducci is on one of them, and maybe
Yes.
You Spin Me Right Round for sure. Those are the two I remember.
Yeah, there's a Billy Idol one too.
White Wedding,
and then I can't remember. Yeah, I
Dancing
do
with
vaguely remember
Myself.
that though. Not even DVD, VHS era giving you some special features. How
Yeah.
about that, everybody? So this isn't too unverified, but I mean, there's a musical adaptation of the movie that opened in 2006, and it ran for 285 performances and nominated in 2006 for a Tony Award for Best Musical.
Also, it was like legitimately on Broadway.
Yeah, sure was, and that makes. I mean, it's again, it's just '80s hits, and it is a fun,
That's
good
true.
story. So,
Plus, Broadway will make anything out of anything if there's music attached to it.
Yeah.
true, and they usually are successful.
We were just watching. We were talking off mic about the Tonys, which were on last night. You can revive anything forever. I saw Hugh Jackman dancing to 76 trombones. You know what I mean?
If you do a revival too, you will get mentioned that year in the Tonys. They're like, and can you believe it? We're doing the Music Man again.
I can. Nothing's
I
off
believe
limits.
it. Yeah, I
all
believe that. Like, yeah, there weren't a ton on this one, which I mean, I don't know.
It's a straightforward. Sandman was in its prime. They made the movie.
So if you know any fun facts about this movie, for sure hit us up on social media at Cult Classics Pod. Do you guys want to move it on to questions?
Comments.
Animosities.
Question, comments, animosities. Just a comment. I love Steve Buscemi's speech at the beginning. It's hilarious. Best man, the better man.
The better man.
I mean, I was looking forward to it rewatching it, but as I rewatched it now, I only want to talk about those two. They just fucking killed their scenes.
Steve Buscemi and John Lovitz.
Yeah, Steve Buscemi and John Lovitz. Sophisticated mama, ooh, you disco lady.
Just the way John Lovitz creeps away
head.
behind that curtain is just perfect, like physical comedic timing.
Crotch grab he does.
Ooh. Yeah, I don't know why.
I also like that we get to have Buscemi back as the wedding singer for Robbie's wedding at the end.
Okay, I do have a question on Buscemi's scene. It's after they're coming out in the back by the dumpster. I think he, as an actor, really falls off that ledge. I don't think he expected it to be so high. I don't think that was acting.
I'll throw this out. He definitely, I don't think, meant to drop that glass and break it.
It did look real.
And I will say, Adam Sandler's even reaction does kind of look like he's trying not to laugh at him.
Again, I mean, I think this comes up every time we do a Sandman movie, but I like that we did Airheads a few weeks ago. I assume that's where they met, and now he's in this movie. He's in Billy Madison. He's in... you toss your friends in there.
This is a little interesting though, because even like Airheads had a little bit of like in it, but like this one has absolutely none. There's none. Possibly I think the only movie where there's not even like a moment. He screams once or twice in like an Adam Sandler way, but like
outside of his like 3 dramatic movies, which are Punch Drunk Love, That Rain Over Me, and then
good movie. That one got overlooked.
And then, I like that one too, although I don't know that everybody does. And then Uncut Gems, I haven't seen it yet. But
my God, we've been talking about this for like maybe over years.
It's tough to get a hold of movies these days. Nothing's available.
It's everywhere.
No, I would say outside of those 3 dramatic movies, it's probably this. Big Daddy, I don't think he does much of it, but he gives you the Scuba Steve.
No, you get a little bit of it. You get a little.
And Spanglish and the Cobbler, I don't think he does any.
Oh, you probably don't get any Click. I'll tell you that much.
No, because he's hanging out with the Baywatch guy all the time. I bet there's a shit ton in that movie.
There might be. It's hard. I haven't seen it in a second.
But yeah, I would say this is maybe one of his most straightforward, and it's almost more of a romance movie than a romantic comedy, kind of. Mm-hmm. It's got real heart and warmth that a lot of his other romantic comedies kind of don't.
This one does lead a little more romantic than the other ones. It's pretty much this and 50 First Dates, the Drew Barrymore ones.
Is this in your top 5?
I think so,
yeah, because it honestly is like the best story and just like put together movie that isn't a little over the top or too silly,
I'll talk about just overall. I mean, I like the music in this a lot. I think it's like great for the Sandman because he is able to sing and entertain. But specifically the Grow Old With You song, I think that I suggested that for my first dance knowing it would get vetoed.
Well, honestly, he does do like a goofy singing sometimes, but he has a good voice. And like even in the Somebody Kill Me Please like song, he's like actually using like vocal fry and like screaming appropriately. It sounds like it's actually kind of impressive. Like this is the first time I was paying attention to it. I'm like, oh, he's kind of like nailing that and like doing it accurately.
This may be the first time I've watched, because I haven't seen it in a while, that I'm like, oh, I get the Clash reference now. I assumed that's what it was. I just didn't get it as a kid. You know what I mean?
But even like just him singing his song at the end.
Oh, sorry, The Cure, man. What a faux pas. I was
listening to a lot of The Cure at the time.
Sorry, what were you saying? I derailed it with my stupidity.
Oh, but even just him singing at the end, like his song, he has a good voice when he puts it there, He puts it out there.
He did that Farley song too. That like actually is really good.
And his stand-up special.
Yeah.
I might just listen to an Adam Sandler rock album if he put one out.
So
if you're listening, Sandman.
If you want to do a deep dive, you guys remember Funny People? That movie?
Sure do.
And it was too long and kind of.
Yeah, I remember being on a Christmas vacation once, and you tried watching it over 3 or 4 days.
Oh, I really did. Nobody wanted to watch it. It turns out when there's one TV in a house, they don't want to watch a 2.5-hour movie.
Sure didn't.
Made from. Anyway, he sings "Real Love" from the Beatles in there, and it's good.
Oh, I vaguely do.
That was long-winded, but somebody's got that on their phone.
I've thought about going back and checking out that movie sometime, and I don't know, seeing it. I just remember being annoyed by you pushing it on me, so I don't think that helped me like it.
Yeah, I can see that. It's not that great.
Just animosity. Adam Sandler is going way above and beyond as a wedding singer. Granted, it's pretty awkward, and he's up there with the mic. I'm just talking more at the beginning when he saves the day with the. Well, I guess they were prostitutes, but I don't remember paying.
That's a good wedding singer. That's
good. It seems like, but even at the bar mitzvah, it seems like every event he's going to, he's changing lives. That's just not how I roll as a musician, and I
think he's a great wedding singer. I do think he's overstepping his bounds though at the red wedding where he's depressed.
What, the Love Stinks one?
The Love Stinks, yeah.
I love he still walks off at the end and he's like, are there people still here? Just a few cops questioning people. Take off your bright blue jacket. Maybe hang out in the dumpster a little longer. Don't just like go out now. There's still cops around looking for you.
So do you get thrown in the dumpster?
I think he's hiding. I think that was more of a hideout situation.
Oh, did you guys? So go back and watch this because I bet you didn't notice it at the like Freaks table during the Love Stinks song. Pretty sure the comedian Brian Posehn.
He is.
I thought that too.
looked that
Funny
up,
enough,
too.
that was the first time I've noticed him too in there.
I didn't even notice it. Megs did. She goes, "Is that one comedian?" I'm like, "What?" And it totally is.
And there's the little chubby kid from Matilda who eats the cake.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah,
He's the studliest bar mitzvah.
he's the ass grabber.
What do you think about the ass grabber? Now that we're in 2022,
Can't be doing that. The whole thing, Julie's being put on the spot that whole scene, so that aged a little weird too now. But yeah, definitely not cool anymore.
Can I give you a weird comment about that scene? I felt like the bar mitzvah, the boys, thought they all looked pretty Jewish. I thought they did like a really good job.
I mean, judging by
Casting
Adam
little
Sandler
Jewish
and some of the
teams.
casting crew, I don't think it was too hard to get some young Jewish boys in the casting
Well,
crew.
I
You know?
mean, I think they made it in Hollywood. There's Gino, throw a stone, hit a Jew. But
We're Jewish. Once again, just have
we're
that
Jewish.
joke.
Yeah. Mark's not, and that's why he's being very quiet right now.
That's right.
Question to you guys. So what do you do if you get left at the altar situation? Do you make a
Ooh, yeah,
statement?
that's tough.
Do you have someone else do it? Do you sneak? I think I do. I definitely don't like smash a mirror and make more of a scene.
Ooh,
but
there's
no.
your little bit of the Sandman in there, just a little bit.
I think after my sister comes up and whispers in my ear, I nod, act like everything's okay. Okay. Walk away and I drive off and let everyone else deal with it. I'm out.
Hear me out. What
you gotta go.
What say you this? That you're not getting anything back.
No.
Just fucking party. You've already paid for all the booze. You've already paid for all the food. Just fucking go tear it up and then kick her family out of there.
Hear me out. You already
Kick
paid
all
for
her
it.
family and friends out of there.
Do that first and be like, "Oh, this is mine. No, like this is coming with me. No one drink that. Do not drink that."
Hey, put that
Keeping
down.
the guess. No. I'd let like my family and friends be there, but like everybody she knows, get out of here. Get out of here.
That makes a lot more sense. Okay, yeah, I'm fair with that. I don't think I'd be able to stay. No, I'd have
I
to go.
also have a question now. What's the right time to call it off? I would say
What, waiting up there?
No. If you're gonna like walk out on somebody around a wedding, I'd say just have the wedding and then call it off.
You say just go through a divorce later?
Well, yeah, because you already paid for the booze. You already paid for. Just have a nice day. You suck it up for one more day, and then you can get it annulled. You don't even have to get a divorce.
You know, that's not a bad idea. I think that. I mean, that's.
I've thought about this because, like, I assume this happens in real life, right? People break off
I'm sure this
engagements.
happens a decent amount. I almost didn't get married a couple days ago, but that was more just the court had filing issues. That was scary.
It is more logistics and clerical.
Yeah, they just didn't record our appointment.
How long are you waiting up there, though? How long? Is it 10 minutes? Is it 15, 30, hour?
15 minutes, but we were also the first out of 5 weddings, so and it took us about like 5 to 10 minutes to get through it. So I don't know, someone waited there over an hour for sure.
A few rounds of the wedding song. Let it kind of repeat.
Oh, I should say here on behalf of the Cult Classics podcast and Mark and myself, congratulations on getting married.
Oh, thank you. We already.
No, don't
went through
speak for me.
It's
Don't
already
speak for me.
happened.
That's
you
right.
know?
Congratulations. I don't think we said anything at the beginning because we were trying to get a streamlined intro, so we just all let it go.
Okay, so Jordan's gonna party with and kick out the wife's side.
I really did think about that. Like, what do you do? What's the right time to leave? If
I
you
think I
already
let
paid
Cameron's just drive off to the sunset. Like,
Yeah, I got to get out of there.
You gotta
but I
get
do
out
got
of
to
there.
make some calls because it will dawn on me. Like, hey, I need someone to pack up that cake. I need someone to like get that
The
shit to
whole
my
cake.
house because like I'm gonna be pretty depressed like Robbie in the basement for a while. So I'm gonna need some cold cut sandwiches or whatever we got from there. I guess I'm thinking more graduation food than wedding, but
Cameron's having cheesy potatoes and like pulled pork
you
sandwiches.
got
Oh,
pulled pork
for
sandwiches
weeks.
for days.
as long as the fridge will keep them, you know.
No, if it was real life, you would just leave. You just leave.
You gotta leave.
You drive around with your friend in the limo all day and just get wasted.
Doesn't sound bad though.
Oh, speaking of the friend, I think the character's name's Sammy. I can't quite remember the actor's name. What's his name?
I can never remember it either. But his best friend that's in all of his movies with him.
That guy really killed it in this too. I think this
Alan
might.
Covert, right? Grandma's boy?
Yeah, Grandma's Boy. Obviously, that's probably his biggest role because of his starring, but I think this is his best like in Sandman movie role.
I'd agree. Maybe his funniest. I feel like a lot of times he's just a straight man. In this one, he kind of actually gets.
Oddly enough,
some
in Big
punchlines.
Daddy, they're gay men, but they're I guess, playing his friends.
He's in 50 First Dates too.
Oh, he's the guy that forgets every 30 seconds. Is he the caddy as well? Is he the caddy in Happy Gilmore? Pretty sure he's the caddy.
Just a comment, but I like that the same house band is working every single event at this reception hall. Granted, I don't know that, but it does seem like they are getting a lot of business.
They switch reception halls, you can tell, because like one dumpster's blue, one dumpster's red. So I think they technically are at different reception halls.
Oh, I just assumed it was the same one because that's like why he keeps hanging out with Julia, and it's just the same. She's just staff there.
Oh, that reminded me. So how many times did they work together before she invited the wedding singer?
2 to 3, maybe.
How did they get? You're gonna come to my engagement party? Julia invites the two of them, the wedding singer and the limo driver.
And there's not a chance after I got stood up at the altar that I'm going to an engagement party like a couple days later. The audacity,
with
animosity,
a coworker.
Yeah, the audacity of Julia, the girl I just met at work, to ask me to come. No, I'm not.
Read the room,
coming.
Julia. Didn't you just see what happened?
I'm reading "Don't Kill Yourself" books. Okay, Julia.
That's true. Okay, so these two have great chemistry, Adam Sandler and Drew Barrymore, right? Mm-hmm. But the characters in the movie, who's doing the most inappropriate stuff? I think it's probably Robbie. None of them cheated, so that's good. As far as like,
not really.
I don't know.
He's just heartbroken. I mean, she's the one that's like kind of. No one's really in the wrong here, Jordan. Love is love.
Well, Glen is. Glen's a bad guy.
He's just a cheater. Yeah, he's just a serial cheater. He's a bad guy.
So Glen Julia, is that his name? So he works in the city, but it seems like he very publicly cheats in their small town.
Yeah, he was just at a bar down the street. Yeah,
everybody would know about that.
Yeah, you'd assume. I mean, did she know? No.
Her cousin or sister, whichever it is, does. Let us know in the comments if it's their cousin or sister.
Now, I do want to say this, though. Should Robbie just have told her right away? I mean, granted, we needed to build some suspense with this, and this is kind of cutting more towards the end of the movie. But, I mean, he should have just told her right away because that would have ended the relationship. It would have freed things up.
I don't think either of them knew right away, right?
No, but he just turns to anger. Essentially, right when he finds out, he tries to get a bank loan the next day, and then he comes and he just is mean to her, where you asshole, and throws like the sheet music up in the air.
He handled the situation.
That's a good Drew Barrymore, Cameron.
I was actually pretty happy with that.
I kissed her, but it didn't mean anything. Let's talk about the kiss now. Okay. That's weird.
The fact that
you don't be kissing your friend or coworker, whatever the fuck they are.
Why would anybody suggest it? Jordan? It's all normal.
You're right. It's normal. It's okay. And that's how marriages get ruined.
That's why I'm saying Robbie's not in the wrong. He's heartbroken. His mind's not in the right place, and people are just putting him in these situations.
People are fucking with him.
Yeah, even the next day, the cousin being like, "If you come upstairs, you're gonna get laid." Everyone's just throwing it at him. Robbie.
I do have a little animosity. I know he's in love with Julia, but that's a great offer. It's tough to refuse.
That is a super duper offer.
It's not a bad offer. I would have checked it out a little bit longer.
I've never heard that before.
Yeah, I've never gotten an offer like that.
This is a little bit of a casting thing. The cook at the whatever banquet hall that they work at.
Mm-hmm. Relax.
He's the voice of Triumph, the insult comic dog.
Oh, I don't know what else. I know he's a comedian, but that's the only
Robert Smigel.
That's like the only thing I know.
He's also an SNL writer too.
Smigel.
Yeah,
he's legendary. He's, if you know comedy, he's a big guy.
Good montage scene. Granted, it's just an excuse for us to get some 80s songs in there, but the limo driving scene, the getting ready for the wedding. Love that scene. Great montage.
So when they're getting ready for the wedding, it's got one of mine and Cameron's favorite lines we'll say to each other. When he's like, "You hit 2 cones," and his friend Sammy goes, "They were cones.
They're cones.
They're cones." I don't know why, but I truly love that.
Just comment. Robbie talking about his $25 in 1993 in the stock market is still how I'm playing the stock market. I have a little money in there, and in 2010, I'm supposed to get $25, so that's pretty exciting. So that sucks. Hearing that, I was like, "Yep, I'm never gonna make it in the stock market."
Also, in the bank scene, you get Kevin Nealon. Just a little toss in there. I enjoy that.
That's like based off an old SNL sketch they used to do about him being a bank teller. So that was kind of an old wink to SNL.
Oh, like because he used to play the straight man. Yeah, all right. Wicked nice gift by Julia. The music.
Yeah, in retrospect, it wouldn't be that hard, and you just got to go to a Kinko's or something. But for the time, I mean, that's
in the
pretty
1980s,
nice.
it was probably like a small, like a printing store.
I mean, you
It would've
definitely
been tougher.
you had to go out of your way to do it. That's still a great gesture. And I did bring it up a second ago, but I do want to talk about that. Like his anger towards her is completely misplaced. Like he should be mad at Glenn. That makes sense, but like that's when he should have just told her instead of being angry. That doesn't make sense to me at all.
No, I don't get what. Yeah, he didn't talk to her at all, and it was just the next day. Pretty rash to go to the city thinking he could get a job, but no, he treated her.
Even if
kinda
I could just
poorly.
get some business cards with my name on it, I think that would help
What
a
was he
lot.
mad about? Just the fact that he thought she wanted money?
Yeah.
That she just liked Glenn for money. Is
The
that assuming
security.
that she thinks that he thinks that she knows he cheats? Is that what we're to assume through that? And she doesn't care for the money?
I don't know. Yeah, he doesn't have any real reason to be mad at her, but I guess he's just mad at the situation and treats her badly.
Mad at himself,
Yeah, I think
projecting it on
that's
her? Okay.
Oh, I've got an actual. Why does Glenn tell Robbie that he cheats like last week? Why would you do that? They don't know each other.
Oh, that is a pretty big animosity. How open he is with this guy that's clearly pretty close with his fiance. Why would he open up at all? Just because he's like, look at that ass. Yep, that's a fine ass. Leave it at that.
I do like how they weren't talking to each other. That was pretty realistic. But then he's like, "Yeah, I cheated last week."
Oh, that
With
is my
someone
nightmare,
younger
being
and
left at
hotter.
the table in that situation where everyone goes to pee and I'm like, I have to talk to the Glenn. Oh, I hate that.
I normally talk to the Glenn.
He's
Yeah.
such a dick, but some of his offhanded like comments are kind of funny. Like, don't puke in the car; it's gonna smell for a week. Like, just like he's such a dick. Like,
She'll feel better when she yaks. No, it's a CD player.
They play CDs.
They play CDs.
yeah,
I do love that it's a DeLorean, though. I saw a DeLorean in the wild once a handful of years ago in Boston, and I'm like, this is awesome. I've got 4 pictures on my phone of somebody's car just because it was a DeLorean parked on the street. That's the only time I've ever seen one like, nah.
That happens everywhere that asshole goes.
you always take a
Oh,
picture
they
of
know
the
what they were
DeLorean.
doing. Yeah.
Animosity, it is crazy. I get that Julie's upset, but it is crazier to drop all of their wedding plans to go to Vegas. Like, they already spent so much money. If it's the next day,
Yeah, that
Go to the-
caterer's already booked. The
yeah, you can't do that.
yeah,
you just
can't do that.
Well, I guess it doesn't matter because I'm guessing Glenn paid for everything. I guess if you have
Yeah,
no
I guess
investment,
it's just screw Glenn.
yeah. Then I guess that's fine. I guess if you've
Glenn
invested
is
nothing.
still locked in that airplane bathroom.
Oh, yeah. I want to talk about first class and then coach. The first class was nuts, but those coach seats were nuts. That would be like first class today. They had so much space.
That's true. But in first class, you can do pretty much anything, Jordan. So I mean,
I enjoyed the Billy Idol cameo, but it could have been so many people from the 80s. It would have been fun. I don't know.
oh, I do want to talk about this because funny enough, I was having this conversation a few days ago. It is better, in my opinion, to have the aisle seat. Could you get your elbows bumped by the drink cart? Maybe, but I'm a tall guy over 6 foot, so you can't keep your feet in the aisle continuously, but you do get a stretch amount. That's what's important. You get at
I'm
least.
a window seat guy.
I'm a window seat person for the lean factor.
I will say I'm
Lean.
still a sucker for just looking out the window, and I do get that
Yeah.
people make fun of you, be like, "Oh, you've never looked out the window before," but not that I'm like 30,000 feet up,
Yeah,
asshole.
not 30,000 feet in the sky. you
Not this
fucking
often,
dick.
and I get that it's a grid pattern of fields mostly, but cool.
Oh, well, we're talking about Adam Sandler's talking about his ex-girlfriend, the little thing she didn't let him do, like look over the window. That doesn't seem like the weirdest thing to me. I'd say there's probably bigger red flags.
Like the cheating.
She didn't. Did she cheat on him?
Oh, you're talking about Linda. Sorry, yes.
Yeah. I don't know. I think that leg space is what dictates plane rides.
The last flight I was on, I was in the emergency exit row, and they give you that little extra foot room.
Dude, those
Yeah,
are-
that's like winning the lottery. I don't think I've ever gotten the emergency.
Dude, I
exit
pray
row.
that someone can't handle the responsibility and needs to be reseated, and I will be that person. Oh,
Is it rude to recline? Because
yeah,
Megan
but
tells
they're
me it
in
is.
there, so yeah, you do. I do. Everyone does.
I do a little bit, but not too much.
You do a little bit, yeah.
I have short legs, so I don't really have too much problem with like the squeeze of my legs. So I'm good.
You always say yes, you can handle the responsibility, even though in the back of your head you're like, I don't know if I can.
I think I swear to God, I saw one person say no once, and I'm like, what is wrong with them? And it got taken so fast. I think somebody's like, I got it, and they like unbuckled him and like sat in his seat. I'm like, well, I was way too far gone, but
Yeah, that was me eyeballing that, being like, please, 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 please.
Oh God, please! Oh God, please! Oh God, please! Oh God, please!
Speaking of just camaraderie on the plane, I do love how Robbie just gets the whole first class together, and even just like the stewardess walking back, not knowing the camaraderie was being like, you won't believe that just
she was
happened
just
here.
telling stories from beyond the grave out in coach. She's like, you won't believe they were all just chummy up there.
Yeah, she didn't know that relationship was going on back there. I just love how quickly Robbie gets everyone all together back there. No way.
Right. I got to be honest. I know I brought it up, and I probably brought it up too much, but I love that Grow Old With You song.
That's my last comment here again. It really is just a good song. And I know a few years ago he wrote a few more verses, and those were just as good too.
Oh, yeah. He updated it for his wife, right? In the...
Cute.
Yeah, I think so.
Stand-up
Maybe in a
special where
special,
he
but
did-
like that one works too. It's just a good melody and it's cute.
I like the Cure one.
Somebody kill me, please.
He's losing his mind, and I'm reaping all the benefits.
Paying with meatballs. Want to talk about that?
That's a good meatball.
I do have to say, animosity. Yeah, good point, Mark. Paying with meatballs. I'd rather just not get paid. I mean, especially I'm sure
Cameron,
shit
he's
not
just
taking it in
that
the hand.
good of guy. Now, do you think those meatballs are gross? Because I assume they are. They're old lady gross meatballs.
The way he's biting into it
They're
seems
either
very
the
reluctant.
best meatballs ever, or yeah, they're gross.
That's true. They could be the best though.
His face does not say that. And granted, they're getting put in his hand, but him going in to bite it, he doesn't want to. They're gross. They're gross as shit.
Yeah, better than getting paid in Trident layers, though.
The commercials seemed like that was pretty cool for everybody. They had fresh white teeth and everyone was happy. I don't know.
That's true. That is true.
Should we move it on to recasting?
Let's do it.
Recasting. Let's start a little lower here. Who did Rosie? Let's start with the old lady. I feel like this one's pretty obvious for everyone. Did anyone do anyone other than Betty White? Because that's who I did.
I didn't do an old lady, but I will go with Betty White.
Okay, that's fair.
That was a casting. What if?
Yeah, and for the record, I did do that before I saw it,
Ooh, that would have been great.
but I wasn't gonna go changing. What about Linda, his ex-fiance, Robbie's?
I did Denise Richards.
Okay, I'm fine with that. That's someone we could hate. Jordan?
I didn't do Linda.
Okay. I do her every once in a while, but Parker Posey, because Linda seems a little bit trashy stupid, and that's what Parker Posey's hilarious at doing that.
I like that.
Who did you guys do? Holly?
Yes.
Yes, I do have a Holly.
All right, we're in the game now. Mark, who's your Holly?
Christina Applegate.
Oh, I'm fine with that. 90s too, that's a good time period for her to be in there.
I did Isla Fisher from Wedding Crashers
Nice.
and Now You See Me and stuff like that.
That's a good one. I did Elizabeth Olsen. I mean, obviously not from the Marvel stuff, but she's kind of funny and very attractive, so that kind of fits under the same category for me.
Oh, so did anybody have Steve Buscemi and...
I did Sammy, but I didn't do Steve Buscemi.
Okay, so my Steve Buscemi, I thought about this a lot because it was one of my favorite characters. How about Sam Rockwell?
Oh, yeah, that would work great, actually. Those two are actually very transferable now that you mentioned that.
I know, it took me a while. And then for
John Lovitz?
the John Lovitz part, this is actually kind of piggyback off yours. I thought Danny McBride would kill that scene.
Oh, he would be awesome at that.
Okay,
Hey,
but
is that your first time using Danny McBride?
Nah, I think I've used him a couple times, but I almost had him in another spot. I'm like, oh no, he'd be good here.
That's a good placement, though. Did you have either of those, Mark?
No, I didn't. I left him alone.
It made sense for you guys to recast those other characters, but I thought a lot about those two.
Who'd you have for Glenn?
I'll go first. I don't think mine's that good. Bradley Cooper.
Oh, no, that's
very
good.
much.
He's good.
Wedding Crashers inspired it for me. He kind of plays a jerk well.
He plays a funny dick, which is nice, though, which is also good with Glenn here. You don't hate him too much. I mean, you do, but it's a fun hate.
Yeah, but it's a comedy. It's not like real evil.
I don't really like mine either, but Vince Vaughn.
Ooh, nice. I actually like that a lot, and it might be funny because he's really tall.
That one actually works for me too. I throw him out all the time. It's gonna finally work. John Hamm. He's gorgeous and funny.
See, I thought you might say that, but
Glenn isn't that funny, Jordan. He's just good looking.
actually, I
You
think
can't see
this
him
is
just going. It's a CD player. It plays. CD.
I actually think this is actually a very
that's what I'm
transferable
saying.
role to John Hamm. I know, but I can't compliment you when you use him so often. But
You
yes.
used him just last week. I'm almost positive.
I think I did. Yeah, probably use him every week. But this one works good.
It's like this one actually would be a really good. It's very similar to his bridesmaid role.
Yeah, exactly.
Like super similar. Yeah, I agree. Good job.
Who'd you have for Sammy? That's the limo driver, his best friend.
I kept it in the Sandman family.
Perfect.
Nice.
Who'd you got?
Rob Schneider.
That works for me too. They're cold.
Not a huge Rob Schneider fan, but
Yeah,
just that he'd work.
that definitely.
I did a
works for me.
layup. I'm not inspired. This one was kind of tough for me because I actually really do like the Sandman's friend in this. I went Paul Rudd.
I thought about it, but we just do them so often, and I
know.
And I was gonna.
And I'm thinking specifically like forgetting Sarah Marshall, Paul Rudd.
But honestly, that works great. But I knew I was going to do.
Yeah, okay.
I knew I was going to do John Hamm, and I didn't want to double down. I think you're going to like this though. Jake Johnson. They're cones.
Ooh, I like him. Yeah,
I think that one would actually work pretty good.
What's his new girl?
New
right?
girl. He was in that Mummy remake with
Oh yeah,
Tom Cruise, but he's done some other things. Who do you have for Julia?
Emma Stone. I kept it redheaded cousins or sisters, whatever they are. I think she'd be good in the role. She's got entered.
Yeah, I like Emma Stone.
charismatic.
Sure. Mark.
Cameron Diaz.
Okay. I do have a
Cameron
public dislike
Lucy
of Cameron
Liu?
Diaz, but
Yeah.
I'll let it go. Charlie's Angels.
Charlie's Angels. We're only one away from
She
the
doesn't rep the
trifecta.
brand, the Cameron brand,
I don't know.
well enough.
I'd prefer no one did other than me. But,
I think she's repping it hard, Cameron. She married a.
well, she's repping it harder than me, but I just don't want anyone else repping it at all. Is the problem? That's the problem I'm running into. Except for Kirk Cameron, he's great.
Actually, I think he's really weird and religious.
Oh, never mind. I don't know.
Might want to walk that one back.
I stand by it. I did Emilia Clarke, Game of Thrones, Ex Machina.
Yes.
Yeah, I took my go-to. I did Emma Stone. Way to go on Emilia Clarke. I think Mark won.
The real question is, who is Robbie for everybody? Robbie Hart.
Owen Wilson.
Owen Wilson.
Ooh, I like it.
That works for me. I don't know if he can sing, but I can definitely
That's
see.
what I was thinking about. Like you get a couple wows in there. Though.
Wow. I can see him doing all the acting part, though, for sure. The role.
I could see him doing the dumpster part really well.
I don't know if he can sing, but I think he might be able to. Bill Hader. Seems like he could maybe do this.
I thought about Bill Hader somewhere. I didn't put him in there, but I think he would do good at the non-singing one.
Maybe the limo driver.
Ooh, that'd be great.
Who's your
I actually like
Robbie?
that.
Thank you.
I thought about this, and Megan kind of helped me, but I thought of somebody who could sing and do the part.
Mm-hmm.
And it might be weird, but I'm going to go with Bo Burnham.
Oh.
Interesting.
I know. He can play the depressed part being broke up. He is pretty tall, but he's been in movies where...
I don't hate that.
It's like Modern Interesting Woman or whatever. Even though he's ultimately playing a bad guy in that movie, he's doing like romantic scenes, like romantic comedy type scenes.
I kind of like
and then
that.
he'd kill the singing part.
I thought about Jimmy Fallon just because I know he can sing, but I don't know.
Oh, yeah. Well, him and them, they sort of have chemistry.
True.
You could do Jimmy Fallon, I suppose.
Are they in a movie together?
Yeah, Fever Pitch.
Yep, there it is. Fever
That's
Pitch.
the one, yeah.
Do you guys want to hear the what ifs? There's actually quite a few. So I'm just going to go through them very quickly. Glenn was actually written for Jim Carrey, but he turned it down. Weird. I don't think that would work.
That would be a weird role.
This makes way more sense, but also in consideration was Christopher McDonald, Shooter McGavin, or Charlie Sheen, John Cryer, or Matthew Broderick were up for the Glenn role. Matthew Broderick does not make sense to me. For the Julia, there's a million. I'm going to go quick. Natalie Portman, Jennifer Lopez, Jennifer Aniston, Jennifer Garner, Molly Ringwald, Julia Roberts, Diane Lane, Christina Ricci, Christina Moore, Justine Bateman, Christina Applegate, there you go, Mark, Cameron Diaz, Elizabeth Hurley, Sarah Jessica Parker, Lori Laughlin, Heather Graham, Brooke Shields, Katie Holmes, Nicole Kidman, Jennifer Love Hewitt, Lauren Graham, and Pamela Anderson. All those work for me except for Pamela Anderson.
Pamela Anderson seems weird.
That one seems weird. And Rosie, we already said, was Betty White.
So even though the lady, the older lady that plays Rosie, she's singing well, but I hate that old lady voice. It just pierces my ears and makes me think of church, and I don't like it. It's a real bummer.
I get it.
I was fine with the hip hop part.
Should we move it on to Mount Rushmore?
Mount Rushmore Top 4.
Welcome back to Mount Rushmore Top 4. This week for our Top 4, we're doing our favorite wedding-oriented romantic comedies, wedding heavy. So Mark 1, he gets to go first. What's your favorite wedding rom-com, Mark?
I'm going to go Bridesmaids.
That's a good answer. That's,
I like
it's
it.
definitely in my top list. That makes sense to me. More modern one.
Kind
Kind of all my lists actually are kind of more modern.
Yeah.
I'm looking at it.
I'm gonna go straight up classic Hollywood one. I'm gonna go The Philadelphia Story with Jimmy Stewart, Katharine Hepburn, and Cary Grant.
Oh shit!
It's the shit.
I did not see you going that route. That's a classic movie. That's a good call, though.
It's one of my favorite
out.
movies. It's great. It's borderline a screwball comedy, but
Nice.
and I could have easily put that on honorable mention, but I wanted it to be my choice because I love that movie.
Proud of what you did there. I was literally just watching it, and it just makes sense to throw it out. I'm putting up Wedding Crashers. Hilarious.
Yep.
Perfect one.
Yep.
I know some people have probably changed their mind on Wedding Crashers because they're tricking people into sex, but I think that movie's funny. And
Finding out the chemistry between Owen Wilson and Vince Vaughn was mind blowing at the time. It was great. So that's our top 3. But to fill out our Mount Rushmore, let's throw out a couple honorable mentions. I feel like we have to throw out my Big Fat Greek Wedding because it's been talked about 3 times to me this week because I got married. It's just been brought up a lot.
I'm gonna give you a Jones family classic. It's In and Out, starring Kevin Kline.
Oh, that's on my list, and no shit, I actually just watched that with Nicole like a couple months ago.
I like that movie a lot.
It's still pretty funny. I'm gonna throw you another Jones classic rom-com, My Best Friend's Wedding with now I'm spacing on her name, Julia Roberts.
I almost put that one.
My mom loves that movie, so I watch that all the time. Like,
Mark, you don't have to say.
You.
Mark, you like that movie too. Don't try to back out of it.
Forever.
Forever. I mean, it sounds like somebody likes it. Sneaky Chicago movie, you know?
Sure is. Yeah. Go to a Cubs game, I'm pretty sure.
I'll give you one more. I don't know if it's a Jones family classic, but it's definitely a Denise Jones family classic.
Sure.
Fools Rush In, Matthew Perry.
Oh, shit. I do love that one. That's a little more pregnancy
and
related.
Salma Hayek.
That's a good movie. That's a little more I got knocked up.
Yeah, but it's like wedding, family coming together. Yeah, I guess it is a little more pregnancy wedding.
I'll give you that.
I guess that's our pregnancy movie.
There you go. I mean, that knocked up. I'll probably think of another at some point. Oh, Juno. Oh, I'm just killing it right now.
The Proposal with Sandra Bullock.
That's up there.
I can't remember if I've seen it or not. Yes, I have.
Ryan Reynolds, right? I think.
This
Ryan
one
Reynolds,
it doesn't seem like it kind of because it's heavy ABBA, but Mamma Mia is all about them just setting up for a wedding.
That's true. I don't know if I've ever seen Mamma Mia.
You know the tunes.
I know, yeah, I know.
I've seen that. I've seen Here We Go Again. I've listened to the Broadway soundtracks. I've heard so much of it, Jordan.
What Happens in Vegas? With Cameron's favorite actor.
The Hangover. Does the Hangover count?
I put it on my list.
That's a little more just shenanigans. It's not so much about the wedding.
But it's the day before the wedding. It's wedding adjacent for sure.
For sure.
I mean, they all end on a wedding scene, but I don't know. 27 Dresses, which I've never seen, but I assume that's about picking wedding dresses.
No, it's actually that she's like been in a bunch of
weddings,
and then they write an article about her because she's been a bridesmaid like 27 times, and then she falls in love with the person that writes the article on them.
Do they get married?
Yeah, I don't know. I can't remember.
I've never seen it, but Runaway Bride.
I've actually never seen it either.
So I actually watched that as recently as around Valentine's Day because I went on this little romantic comedy kick. I did watch My Best Friend's Wedding. I'm like, oh, Runaway Bride seems along that vein, but it's not that good.
What's the one with Chris O'Donnell where he's literally running from brides? I just remember that preview.
I think it's called Runaway Groom.
Okay, I knew it was something close.
No.
I now pronounce you Chuck and Larry. You could kind of...
Oh, yeah. I forgot about that one. There's an Adam Sandler flop. Oh, this one's uncomfortable, but Meet the Parents is all about a wedding.
Yeah. I guess it is.
The first
that
two,
feels like the least
until,
wedding
it's not until the third one, I think, where we really leave the wedding theme. 3 weddings and a funeral.
3 weddings and a funeral. Yeah, there's a
it turns out pretty much just every rom-com.
We're probably missing your favorite one, but we said our favorite one.
Yeah,
so let us know what you like.
your favorite one out there. And hopefully you liked our take on The Wedding Singer. If you did like our take, make sure you like and subscribe on your favorite podcast app. If you want to help...
Shoot us a rating. That'd be great.
If you want to help out the station, you want some bonus content, you can either go to patreon.com/cultclassics, or you can hit subscribe on your podcast app for premium content. Make sure you're listening to all the good things coming out of Majestic Jam, Urban Hermit, I'm Not Crazy, this podcast, and we'll check you on the next one.
Bye. Bye. Bye.